It is the earth quaking, pillars shaking, podcast listening, leader of the Meat Pop Express, Big Trouble Ben Bishop. And get ready, folks, because you are tuned in to the fastest growing professional wrestling podcast in the world. The 3 Count. Podcast.
Hit him with a, pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man. Now know we out.
Hit him with a 3 count.
Crowd already know how I fly to the floor.
Hit him with a 3 count. 3 count. 3 count. 3 count. Oh, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don, Chaz Evans, and you are checking out the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. Let's go down my roster. Introducing first to my right. He is the landlord of the Dog Pound. He's my tag team partner. He's the man that runs the show. He's the man that is the reason why we got all this fancy, cool stuff on the podcast now. He is your favorite mercenary. He's the guy that puts a peace sign over his eye like he's from Hawaii. Because did you know he actually lived there? Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Dog, Cliff Miller.
That's right. It's the Air Force veteran intel specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done. And your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. And like my boy wants to tell me,
shout out to my guy Red Dog.
Always you.
Like, you're just gonna do that now?
I feel like
you're gonna do it the whole season.
Yep, I feel like that's the thing. I feel like I gotta get more people who say just like shout outs to Red Dog. You just like post it up for no reason.
You would.
All right. You caught me off guard last week. You caught me off guard this week. So now I'm prepared for just to see random people's faces pop up on my screen now to just say shout out to Red Dog. Forget my whole, intro that I give you.
No, we gotta keep that up. Like it's gotta still be a thing. Like you still gotta play the surprise part.
No point. You have random guests.
Like, how did you get him to do it?
No, because that's you doing it. Anyway,
don't
introducing
peel the curtain back like that. Kayfabe, right? Kayfabe.
Kayfabe is dead.
Wow.
Did you see who I'm on this podcast with? Kayfabe is dead, brother.
What are you talking about?
Kayfabe is dead. Damien hit me with a brick to the back of the head in a hotel room, and you want to tell me
I would never do anything like that.
But anyway, well, introducing next, he's the Dark Lord himself. He's from the depths of the underworld. Master Xehanort ain't got nothing on him because he is Master Xehanort. He's the old man that just won't die. He was there for the very first wrestling match between Zeus and Hades, and quite frankly, the finish was a headlock. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Lord, the supervillain, Damien Fatal.
Thank you for having me. Can I get a pack of Marlboro Blue Menthol? And yes, I'm getting
you can't. No, you can't get
Blue Menthol.
This man out here promoting smoking while on this podcast.
Yes, kids smoke.
No, don't do that. Introducing next. He's my little brother, and that is the only reason he's on this show. I promise you, his match of the week is probably whatever he saw on YouTube this week. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Napster. He is Q. He is JJ.
I was mute. Drip driving, got the club vibing, decking the sidewalks to keep me up the streets. Chitty banging. Study every day. Only reason why I'm doing it because I don't have a season 3 catchphrase yet. Still working on it.
I was about to say, I thought you. Alrighty,
I'm still working on it. I'm still in the lab cooking it up, bro. You gotta give me some time.
You had a month, okay?
You had a whole month, bro.
To prepare your season 3 intro.
Well,
I'm disappointed in you, son.
The season 2 one came out. Season 3 last week I tried and I was just like, wait, that's not gonna work. I was basically gonna roast y'all, but no, just not gonna do it.
Well, I will come to your college and fuck you up. Don't play with me.
Don't make me travel to Millersville, UK to beat your ass.
Yosin.
The thing is, you guys
I
will
might
not be.
be.
The thing is, you guys won't even be able to get into the building. So I feel.
Oh,
safe.
I can get in the building.
I
Don't
can
worry
climb
about that.
buildings. I ain't worried about that. Yeah, I'll bust your window.
I'm on the fifth floor. I'm on the 5th floor, so have fun.
Listen,
climb
if
the
we can
That's
get in
why-
the Capitol on January 6th, we can get into your school.
Right? Exactly.
Hey,
Don't play. Don't
and you can be
play.
just like the people on January 6th that fell when they tried to climb up that thing. You'll be falling. Looking
I'm
like
black.
looking like Mufasa.
Bro,
Long live the king!
I'm black. I got athletic prowess, so I'll be fine.
With that
Y'all gonna be
being
doing
said,
y'all
Just remember that.
I'm taking over
I'm
my
black.
show now.
Keep playing.
Sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
With that being said, I was trying to give him the segue. It is now time for the return of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, making his return to the 3 Count Podcast, the OG himself. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the 45,000-time World Heavyweight National Negro Spiritual Racist Killing Bare Knuckle United States Universal 24/7 champion, and he is now freshly engaged. Christopher J. Idol.
Thank you. Just like Jon Moxley's hairline, I'm back,
Wow.
and I'm happy to be here.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, we're
Hold
back.
on. Is his hairline really back though?
Yeah, it's
back. It's amazing.
How
what,
far
like,
back is it?
putting the bottle down, can do for you.
Yeah,
No,
I
I don't
said
mean
it's a- I
back
said-
like
No,
it's
no,
receding.
I like-
I mean back like
no,
it
like-
came forward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's called plugs. Just to let you know, that's called hair plugs.
I didn't say it grew back. I just said
They
it.
took it. They took it from his. They took it from his ass and put it on his head.
I didn't.
All righty. Let me get through my announcements now. Anyway, so for those of you who are here and if you have not followed us on social media, go follow it. As you can see right there in the middle of your screen. Everybody point to it. Point to it. Yep. Point to it.
I'm driving. I can't.
Well, Damien, don't point. But yeah. All right. Twitter, 3count_pod. Instagram, 3countpod. And Twitter, TikTok, 3countpod. Like us on Facebook at the 3Count Podcast. All right. Follow us on social media if you have not already done so. Also, for all of our YouTube viewers, if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? And make sure you hit the bell button so you don't ever miss any content that we produce. I promise you, we got a whole interview show. So, you don't want to miss that. And speaking of the interview show called Now Into the Ring, hey, Cliff, what's going on Now Entering the Ring?
Man, we got a lot of stuff happening on the show. I'm super excited because obviously last week we talked about Merc coming. We talked about the premiere of Now Entering the Ring 201. Now we've got Lestat has also come out with his interview. So let's talk about what's going on this week. We're going to bring on the thespian himself. That's right. J.S. Hawthorne is joining us in Now Entering the Ring. And last but not least, one half. What's that?
Ain't that the guy that beat you?
I don't know what you're talking about. And we're going to talk about the other half of Black Magic. Tony Macco is going to be on the show. So it'll be a lot exciting. We'll be super excited for this. We have a lot of great interviews that are coming up as well. So you guys go check us out and then give us a like. Give us a like and then write a comment in. See if you learned something from the show.
Definitely. Most definitely. Also, go buy a shirt. Okay? Buy a shirt. Pro Wrestling Tees /3Count Pod. That's the number 3. Don't you dare type in THREE. Buy a shirt. Our What a Maneuver store will be up soon. All right, coming this spring. What a Maneuver. So you can definitely go get a shirt from there as well. All right, if you prefer What a Maneuver over Pro Wrestling Tees. And for those of you who have your preference, I understand why. So make sure you get your merch in there. All righty. All this announcements and all this cracking at each other. Let's get down to the show. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's start off with match of the week. All right. For those of you that don't know what match of the week is, we're going to go around and we're going to give what we felt like was our match of the week. Doesn't matter if it was in WWE, AEW, GCW. I don't care if it was a wrestling match in the parking lot of the Macy's. If it was a wrestling match and you thought it was awesome and the best thing you saw this week, it can be match of the week. So definitely let us know in the comment section what you guys feel like was your match of the week. I'm going to start us off, and I'm going to start off with one that I never thought I would say. My match of the week is that damn Jackson boy and Trent. On a Rampage. I was actually thoroughly impressed. It's a Young Bucks match, which is of course, but it was actually fire. So yeah, that gets my match of the week. All right, what about you, Cliff?
My match of the week is going to come from Warriors of Wrestling, which was on last night. So if you guys get a chance to go check that out, please do, because it was a real fire match with Mil Mete and Beastman. Obviously, he's a friend of our show, so we're going to be kind of biased with it. So yeah, go check out that match. It was a lot of fun. It was cool to see one of our close personal friends come in and just be on a big time program. So shout out to Beastman.
All right, JJ, what do you got for me? Match of the week.
Testing. All right, cool. Okay, so I only saw SmackDown this week because I am a busy man. So my pool is very limited because SmackDown was. Yeah.
I'm about to say SmackDown was
go with.
It wasn't.
It was meh.
Yeah.
My match is KO Rollins versus the Usos. I know it ended up in a DQ with Roman attacking them, but I personally thought it was the best match on SmackDown.
You know, the funny thing is, I would agree with you. That would have been my match of the week if I didn't watch Rampage right after SmackDown. Like that match was fire. Like I'm not even going to front. Like I was definitely enjoying KO and Seth versus Deuce. So like that's not a bad pick.
I thought it was good.
What about you, Idol?
My match of the week was Roddy Strong versus the man formerly known as Walter.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one too.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I watched NXT. All right, Damien, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I can't even say his new name. Same as Walter and Roddy. That was like my favorite match of the week.
No, like
even
that was a fire match between Gunther. I'm gonna say his new name because that is his name, Gunther.
He's named after the penguin from. He's named after the penguin from
Madagascar?
From that damn Cartoon Network show.
Oh.
Nah, Adventure Time. The penguin, Ice King's penguin. Yeah. No, that's the name of his penguin. It's Gunther. That's what they named him after.
All right, cool. So they didn't name him after a Nazi. They named him after a cartoon. Got it.
No, they named him after a Nazi. It's okay. It's not. It really is a Nazi. It's all right.
All right. So, like I said, for those
he's getting back to his roots.
Definitely the week is, and we'll pull it up and we'll talk about it. All right. Let's move on to our first topic. Oh, buddy. So, for those of you who don't know this, and I have to give you some backstory. This past week, Damien called me, and he wanted to make sure that this was a topic on today's show. Damien's on his way to work, so he might not even be here for the full show. But this topic, he's been like heavily real into it. So, does MLW have a case against WWE? For those who don't know, MLW has taken WWE to court, pretty much saying that they tampering with their what's that word, y'all?
The talent.
Yeah, the talent, and also getting them
off. It's bigger than that.
From their MLW being on Vice TV. So the big topic is: does MLW have a case? We'll start with Red Dog, then we'll go JJ, then we'll go Damien, then we'll go Idol, and then I'll get us at the end.
So does MLW have a case? Well, if the rumors are to be true, possibly. It's because all kind of hearsay, you know what I mean? Like whenever you get an executive that calls another person from a network and says, hey, I can't control Vince McMahon. So if he says something, he's going to do something. And, they're trying to pull like people off of ice. And it's kind of weird. Tampering with talent, like that's a given. That happens all the time, whether people want to admit it or not. Even in places like AEW, it happens. Like, let's not play the game. Like, how else are people going to really know, like, when people's contracts are coming up without the talent reaching out, or without with someone just inside knowledge, like letting that information kind of fly out. So whatever's clever or whatever people want to say, I think I really think MLW does kind of have its case, because WWE has been known to go after certain talent that they find interesting and try to pluck them. And they do it with all their territories. It's not even just MLW. I mean, they do it with Impact. They've probably done it with AEW, because there's a lot of rumors about MJF and whatnot. So I think my long end point, yeah, I think they have somewhat of a case.
So I had to do a little bit of research on this before we got on the web, and if what they're saying is true, they, like Red Dog says, they have a case, but like WWE got some good lawyers. Like tampering, like even in sports, happens all the time. Like, so what? You know what I mean? That's no one's gonna really care about that. It's just you got to deal with them WWE lawyers. It's basically equivalent to dealing with Disney lawyers. So they're probably gonna lose.
I guess it's my turn, isn't it? All right. So it's not just talent tampering. It's the fact that they're trying to say that WWE has a monopoly as well on the wrestling business, which is bullshit. Do they control a large portion of the wrestling business? Yes, but they don't have a monopoly. The fact that MLW has the audacity to say that they're stopping them from being on certain networks and streaming services it's laughable at best. They don't have a case, point blank in general. The reason they're doing this is because they're hoping to get a payoff, and WWE is going to be like, you know what? Let's kick them a little bit of money and sweep this under the rug because this is not worth our time. To be perfectly honest with you, if I was WWE, I'd be like, you know what? We got better lawyers. Let's keep this held up in court until they run out of money. Because it's a fucking joke. MLW contracts are a fucking joke. MLW management is a fucking joke. I feel bad for the wrestlers because they get paid dog shit. And like I said, it's laughable at fucking best. It's fucking bullshit. It's them trying to get money and I don't know, get some kind of publicity. Or the deposition is fucking stupid. The way that it's put together, whoever their lawyer is a fucking idiot. It's dumb. It pisses me off because it's like everything that they're claiming that WWE is doing wrong as far as the messing with their deals of getting on a network or streaming service or controlling all of wrestling is bullshit. As far as talent tampering, everybody does it. My thing is, why won't you put out the terms of your contracts for your wrestlers in this deposition to give you weight in your supposedly lawsuit? And the reason they're not doing it is because they're screwing over their fucking talent. So, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm looking forward to this guy making an ass of himself.
Okay, yeah, to kind of piggyback what Damien was saying, I think this is more than anything, it's a publicity grab and a cash grab for MLW. Because I mean, what reason? Like, out of everyone that's out there, like all the companies that are out there, why would WWE pick on MLW? Like, what is MLW really gonna do to like hamper their business? And then as far as like the talent tampering, who from MLW went to WWE? Like, I'm sure there were some guys, but didn't most of them end up in AEW? So shouldn't they like? Wouldn't that fit more in like AEW's case? Because I'm thinking like I don't know who did WWE snatch up from MLW or take away from them. Like I'm really trying to think. The only one I can think of is was Killer Cross. But I think everybody else that they had that they don't have anymore, they went to AEW. I don't think they went to the WWE.
I don't think. No, I'm trying to think. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, so like.
Didn't the owner used to work for WWE too?
Yeah, he was a writer for SmackDown for a couple of years.
So okay, then that explains it. He got butthurt. So he got fired.
So I think he has a vendetta. Yeah, I think he has a vendetta against the WWE. Yeah, I think this is more than that. They're just trying to make waves. They're trying to get their name out there, keep it out there. Because like, I like MLW's product, but if we're being honest, they're not making waves in comparison to everyone else. AEW, Impact, Terminus now, Ring of Honor. Like, MLW doesn't have anything big going on. So if they want to get their name out there, they got to do stuff like this. So I think this is more of a cash grab and publicity stunt than anything. I don't think they really have a case because I don't see WWE going, oh my God, MLW is trying to get a show on Vice. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Who's watching Vice? Like, who's watching Vice? Who cares? Like, who cares? What?
I think I saw. Like, the only thing people watch on Vice, as far as wrestling fans, the only thing they're watching is Dark Side of the Ring.
Right, and I think I saw that it said that like WWE threatened, like I think they were trying to get on some streaming service that Fox owned, and WWE threatened that was like, if you put MLW on your streaming service, we're going to pull our deal from Fox.
Yes, that
Why would they do that? It's a $5 billion deal. Oh, if you put that tiny company that nobody hardly watches on your streaming service, we're pulling our $5 billion deal. Because guess what? If I was Fox, I'd have been like, okay, you just saved us $5 billion. See ya.
Exactly.
I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
And then don't even get me started about the Fight TV situation.
Everyone,
like, how did they stop them from being on Fight?
Everyone is on Fight TV. Literally everyone is on Fight TV. So why would WWE try to stop them? Out of everybody that's on there, them, probably the least threatening people out there is MLW.
They also tried to say that because WWE gives input on Dark Side of the Ring, that's why they got stopped from putting on Vice. Like, really?
Do they give input?
WWE's going to tell on themselves.
I don't think they give input because the Dark Side of the Ring makes WWE look pretty bad.
Terrible. Yes,
more often than not. So I highly doubt WWE has any sort of input in that show whatsoever. They might get asked a question or two.
So
if they decide to answer that question.
Exactly. So, like, all right, here's the thing, right? So the tamper with the talent thing, yes. Okay, we all know that. Like Josh has said, it happens in sports all the time. Like, people get fined for that in the NFL and all that stuff, but it still happens. Like, you're not supposed to, like, players are not supposed to text each other about, hey, you want to join up with me next year and we go win the chip? You're not able to do that, but we know they do that all the time. All right, everyone's friends with everybody. So, oh well. Like, I think that's one of the things in sports. Like, you just gotta, get over it, build a bridge and get over that. Okay. Yeah. Like, people want to work with each other. Like, that's like, for example, that's like saying, like, Chris Idol over here works at AEW. I work at WWE. We're best of friends. Of course, he wants me to be over there with him and work with him. Like, hey man, when's your contract is up? Oh, it's up at the end of the year. Oh, cool. Well, we're doing this over here. I'll go talk to TK. I'm like,
Right.
happens.
Right. Exactly. It's like, oh, your deal's coming up. Let me put in a good word for you over here. See
exactly. It's no different than if I a job. Let me go talk to my boss. I'll put a good word in for you. Like, there's no difference in that. So that number one, we can X that out. The monopoly part of as far as WWE, no. Okay. And I can tell you there's 3 letters. AEW.
Not even that.
Okay.
Ring of Honor, all that.
Basically, anyone with 3 letters that runs a show and makes money.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
Exactly.
Wait.
From this standpoint, being as they're on a national, like a worldwide broadcast, national network cable show, as far as that's concerned, as far as monopoly, because we gotta remember, like, we haven't had wrestling on cable other than WWE since what was that 02?
That's true.
So I was gonna say from that standpoint, if this was if they made this case a couple years ago before AEW, I'm like, all right, cool, you got something with that. But as far as monopoly, no, AEW beats them in the ratings. As far as NXT is concerned, they were. If you look at it overall, they're not, but they're getting 1 million views on TNT or TBS, what it is. Well, Turner broadcast, period. So there is no monopoly, okay? No. And on top of the fact, as far as MLW, if you look at it from the standpoint, they're probably at least 5th tier as far as wrestling companies in the States. If you look
I think you're probably being generous. If we're being
really?
honest,
Well,
you're right. Okay, so if we think WWE's number 1, AEW, then you got to think Impact.
Under them would probably be ROH.
Yeah, ROH. Then now GCW. I feel like GCW is probably doing more business than they are right now.
You know what? That's true. So
then after that, then we're going into like the higher tier indies.
Right.
Your Northeast wrestling, like all those kind of things. So I'm like, MLW is like, I feel like it's further down the list than we really think.
Wait, who did you have at number 4?
ROH, yeah.
You mean a company that's on hiatus right now?
We're talking before the hiatus. We're talking before.
Okay, well then I can give you 5. Yeah. But here's where I was trying to get at, right? So JJ, you said something about how WWE has better lawyers than Vice does. That's not entirely true when Disney owns Vice.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So Disney owns 16% of Vice, and then of course you have
they own everything,
TPG, right? And TPG owns 44%. So I mean, they don't have better lawyers per se, but yeah. So they have their hand kind of in everything. Let's be real.
So they have even less of a case.
Yeah, they do.
Right. That's the point. That's kind of. I thought at first when I would think about this initially, I was like, yo, like they might have a strong case in the sense that, hey man, like you guys kind of stopped us from getting on Vice. You guys kind of stopped us from doing this, right? But as far as Vice goes, Vice can really tell WWE to just go to hell and bring MLW on. So as far as like MLW needs to get some help, and I think if they can, go back to Vice and be like, hey, put us back on your network because that's where we belong. We've had this agreement, and you don't got to be worried about WWE and what they're going to do or what they're going to say. So I think that's like where we really kind of have to like hone in on everything and discuss that part, because Vice being owned by Disney would give much more leverage to MLW than WWE, because there was like the big rumor that WWE was trying to pump their numbers up so that Disney would acquire them, so that they don't have to worry about other competitors. But I don't know, man. I kind of think MLW, as far as saying there was a monopoly, maybe back like 10 years ago, there was that monopoly where like nobody else could get on TV because WWE just ran shit. Because even if you look like on Spike, right, or whatever they call themselves now, Paramount, you did have Impact. TNA. But obviously once they got cut, they went to their own streaming service. You guys brought up another one with ROH. They're on a streaming service as well. Like even though they were really good, they were on a streaming service. I just think it's funny how everybody has to get on a streaming service to be considered, I guess, decent. It's weird. Yeah. But WWE and AEW are the only two that really have like good televised deals to be able to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
We could talk about that.
And so to have it.
Yeah. I do have one last statement. I got one last statement on this topic, and I'm done with it. WWE couldn't even stop Ring of Honor and New Japan from running Madison Square Garden. So you think they blocked some deal, some streaming deal for a very low tier indie that pretends to be a national company?
Right.
You know, when you put it that way, there's nothing else to it.
Yeah. So that's my final thoughts on this topic.
That's the final thoughts on the topic, period. Because once you say that, there's nothing else. No, facts. He's out there. There's nothing else to be said. All right, let's go with temp check. Let's move on to temp check. All right, temp check. All right, temp check. Here are the rules for temp check. It's time to tell me who is the hottest wrestler going into this week, or who is the coldest wrestler going into this week. Or if you want to be like Red Dog and be like, in the box, out of the box, warming up, lukewarm. Yeah. So, but hottest wrestler and or coldest wrestler of the week. All right, JJ, hottest or coldest wrestler of the week. Temp check.
My tribal chief.
Hey.
Your tribal chief.
Let's
the
go.
Viewers at home's tribal chief.
Say it again.
My tribal chief.
Yeah.
Your tribal chief.
Yeah.
The viewers' tribal chief.
Yeah.
My tribal chief.
Yeah.
Your tribal chief.
Yeah.
The viewers' tribal chief.
Yeah.
Everyone's tribal chief.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, the head of the table. I would like to thank him for paying my bills.
I
got a nice. No, I'm just too glad that Roman he helped pay off my college bills this week. So, thank you, Roman.
Cool. So you can stay in college for another week. Got it.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
He's so generous. He's so generous.
All right, Red Dog, who you got?
So as far as my hottest wrestler of the week, I'm going to be honest, man. I got to go with Kevin Owens. KO has some pretty decent standout moments this week, man. He wrestled on Raw and he was on SmackDown. So, I mean, you got to kind of give a little love, or the love has got to be given. As far as my coldest wrestler of the week, this one's going to be kind of controversial only because she really hasn't been on TV that often. So, Thunder Rosa, getting a little cold. We kind of need that warm back up. Like, can't be seeing you just on AEW Dark, right? Like, we need back in that presence. So, that's going to be my person. But I'll throw this over.
I'm about to say, that's because she's been getting beat up by Mercedes Martinez every week.
Hey, I don't care what happens. I'm just saying.
Like, when you get beat up like that, then, I mean, hey. All right. Idol, who you got?
All right, so I think my hottest wrestler of the week, I'm going to go with Seth. Because I think they did a good job this week of making it seem like Seth can beat the Tribal Chief.
Yep.
I think this is probably, other than Lesnar and Crown Jewel, I think this is really the only time during Roman's reign where I felt like he could lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they've reinforced this story very well. And plus, Seth is getting over really great as a babyface, or a quasi-babyface, because I don't know if he's really a babyface, but...
Nah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
He's getting
the whole
he's getting the support.
The whole time.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, is he a heel? Is he a face? He's like,
Yeah.
But I mean, once you get the crowd singing your theme song, you're automatically a face, right?
That's what I mean. It's like, all right, he's like a quasi-face. He didn't quite turn face, but he's not as heel as Roman. So, coldest wrestler of the week. I got to say Shawn Spears. That man might as well be in Antarctica.
All them wins, man.
I've never seen someone leave a company on their own volition to go to the competition to actually do worse than they were doing at their previous place of employment.
I stopped taking him seriously
never-
like after like that.
I don't know. Like, can we has anyone ever left WWE, gone somewhere else, and legitimately done worse than they did in WWE? Like, has that ever happened?
I'm trying.
Probably.
Somebody went
Probably,
to
but we
somebody went to TNA. Somebody went to TNA and did worse. Somebody.
Like, now I don't count like they went and like did the same. I mean, like they did worse. Like, it's like, bro, you should have stayed in WWE. Like, I'm trying to think. I can think of some that have been like, okay, they're on par. Like, they didn't go up, they didn't go down, they just stayed consistent.
No, I can't think of none.
But I'm like, he got beat in what, like 5 seconds?
I'm not gonna lie.
His entrance was like triple the time of the match.
Yeah, I can't even front, man. I was gonna say like one Roman Reigns entrance is longer than what that match was by like 6 minutes.
That's right.
It is so weird because like, the week
he
before,
had more motion in his entrance than he did in the match.
well, like think about it, right? Because like the week before he had that match, right? Was it on Rampage where he beat the other person in like 30 seconds, and then when he just came out was like, I don't cut corners. He cut like this little passion like promo. I don't cut corners. I do this. I'm gonna hit you. Blah 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 blah. 10 seconds. I was like,
flew into town, got dressed, warmed up, oiled up.
Nah, facts. That's
for
facts.
less than 10 seconds on national TV with CM Punk.
That's facts. That's facts.
It's a cold world.
All right, Red Dog, who you got? Highest wrestler, coldest wrestler, temp check.
I said mine.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. You're right. I totally ignored you.
It's your turn, Chaz.
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
All right. I'll start off with my coldest wrestler of the week. Coldest wrestler of the week is definitely going to Naomi. I'm over it. All right. I said it last year on our season finale that I was over it, and it's still going on. Hopefully, next week is the end of this story. For all that is holy, give her something different. But Naomi is my coldest wrestler of the week. My hottest wrestler of the week was already said by one of our viewers. Send Hook. Hook's my hottest wrestler going to this week. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. Hook is the real deal. They are presenting him well. Hook is performing well. I just need more of Hook. Start putting Hook on Dynamite is what needs to happen. Because Rampage is Hook's show. That's Hook's show. Every week that he's on there, he's literally the highlight of the show. Like my Friday nights are highlighted by two people. That is my tribal chief, your tribal chief, everyone's tribal chief, the man that sits at the head of the table, Roman Reigns, and Hook. I had to get that in there, even though Josh stole my thunder. But yeah, Hook's definitely my hottest wrestler going into this week. All right. So that was Temp Check. Let's move to our second debate topic, which should be fun. All righty. So this past week on Dynamite, we saw the return of Jon Moxley. And he gave this passionate promo. Pretty much saying that, he fights his demons and that, hey, the only thing he's drinking is blood. So Mox looked good coming back. He looks healthy, which is, props to him for that. But we're not going to talk about the actual return of Moxley. We're going to talk about the comments that were made the next day on everyone's second favorite wrestling talk show, because 3 Counts everyone's number one favorite. Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM. with Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, and whoever else he decides to show up on there. But Bully Ray made some comments talking about that he enjoyed the promo, thought the promo was very well, but he felt like Mox should have apologized to the fans for being gone. And we're going to debate, should Moxley have apologized to the fans? We'll start off with Idol, then we'll go me, then JJ, then Cliff.
Okay. So, Chaz, did you actually like listen to Bully's like what he said? Because I only read what he said, but I didn't.
I listened to a little bit. Then he said he should apologize, and I turned it off.
Okay.
So I didn't fully listen to the whole thing. No.
Okay.
Because I got pissed off.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Because I didn't listen to it. I listened to it. I don't know how he meant it. Like, I don't know what he said. Like, I don't know if he meant it as it would be a nice touch to say, like, I'm sorry for being gone, but I had to get my life together kind of thing. Just a nice thing like that. Or if he was saying it like Moxley owed us an apology kind of thing. So I don't know how he meant it. So I know how people took it, but I don't know how he said it and meant it. But I don't think Moxley don't owe me no apology. He's a grown man. If he apologized, cool. If he didn't, cool. That's my thoughts on it.
All right, so I've been settling on this since this whole thing became a thing. So Bully Ray and I was talking to my partner Prince Machiavelli about this. So y'all get at least a real low version of red ass Chaz today because I already got that off. So we have to, and before I get it, we gotta remember that Bully Ray, even though Bully Ray is one of the old heads who has a forward thinking as far as professional wrestling, he's still an old head. And I hate to use the term old head, but he was in the 90s, all right? That old wrestling tribal, mindset. Whereas, hey, brother, got to get over it, and all that type of stuff. He's still in that mindset, even though he is a little bit forward thinking as far as what wrestling is today. Moxley does not owe anybody an apology on why he was gone. He does not owe the fans. He does not owe Tony Khan. He does not owe the wrestlers an apology. Okay? Moxley had his issues and his demons, and that was Moxley. Okay? The actual person, not the character. Okay? He had the issues, not the character. So why would the character apologize for him being away? Just because what? Why? Because wrestling and, like, hey, we do this for you and you guys come here to see us and all that. Like, no. Because guess what? It's not like people stopped coming to the AEW shows and stopped buying tickets and stopped watching because Moxley had to go to rehab. There was never any indication that ticket sales declined. Right? All right, right? No one said anything about ticket sales decline. No one said viewership stopped. Like, no. Like, we got to remember that these, and we get confused sometimes because, we get so passionate about these wrestlers that these are actual human beings with actual lives. Okay? Like I said it, before the air. Kayfabe is dead. Sorry for everyone that hates the, it's dead. Okay? Like, these are actual human beings. No one, like, Luchasaurus ain't a real dinosaur. Sorry. I knew you would do that, Cliff. He's not a real dinosaur. Okay? He's a real man, a grown man. He wasn't a dinosaur in WWE. Ooh. So he does not owe anyone an apology. And I think it's real trivial that he should give an apology. The promo that Moxley said and that he gave was fine enough. There's no need to harp on the negative. I don't want to use it as a negative, but the negatives of what happened. It's time to focus on the positive. Okay, boom. We open the show. Let's get this party started. All right. Moxley's fired up as Moxley is. He gives the promo. He says, "All right, cool. I'm back. I'm here. This is what needs to be done. boom, and we're out of there. No need for an apology. Like, I don't need an apology from Mox. Like, everyone has their own issues. Whether it's substance abuse, whether it's drug addiction, like alcohol, whether it's like porn addiction, like everyone has their own issues. Like, and who am I to be like, yeah, you should apologize to me because you weren't on my screen. Screw you for getting yourself together and trying to be a better person. Like, my man's got a whole wife and kid. He has a family. That's his priority. If anything, he should apologize to them. If anyone deserves an apology, it's Renee and his kid. No one else deserves an apology. So Bully Ray can go kick rocks. As far as like, he should have gotten an apology. Like, no, get out of here with that bull crap, man. Like, everyone so trivial about things in wrestling. Yeah. No apology. I don't even know who's next anymore. Like, an apology. Oh, what?
Actually, I think JJ, you were supposed to go up, but I'm just gonna jump in before you anyway. So, no, I agree.
He deserves an apology. The 7-year-old in the crowd deserves an apology from Moxley. What?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you that Moxley doesn't owe an apology to anybody unless he's already given that apology out to somebody, right? Like,
exactly.
Clearly, we know that Renee and his daughter got an apology, and that's all that needs to be said. Like, everybody else can go, everybody else who decides that they want to go kick rocks owe an apology. Actually, if anybody owes somebody an apology, it's that fucking fan that was in AEW that was like, go grab a drink and get this trash out of my ring. Yo, just like Moxley, go fuck that guy. Like, fuck that dude. That was the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life when it comes to like just people just being cold and callous about shit. Like, have we become that? Is that who we are now? Is that what we've become? That we become those people that we're literally going to just say shit to people just because we think it sounds cool? Like, how fucking callous do you have to be towards somebody who legitimately said they're checking in to rehab to better themselves, and the first response that you're gonna say is, "Go grab a drink and get this trash out of my ring. Get out of here. Who the fuck do you think you are?" This isn't the 90s, right? And that fan is not a wrestler, because it's not like Stone Cold out here talking about Jake the Snake and having a new catchphrase. It's just some dude looking for his 15 minutes of fame. So fuck you, bro. You get more time me talking about you right now than you'll probably ever get outside of that. So, fuck that dude. Bully had a bad take, man. And, Renee already said it. Paige kind of said her 2-piece. I kind of agree. Like, I get, like, the idea is that he wants to, when you cut a promo and you're just like, hey, I know that I let you guys down and I apologize for that, blah, 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 blah. But if it's warranted, it's warranted, but it's not warranted. And I don't think it's necessary to have to go out there and say something like that. Right. So no, I don't think he needed to apologize. It's wild to me that they think that. And it's funny because we had this comment, I'm going to put it up really quick just so you guys can see it. He said it best. Everybody's brave when you're behind a keyboard. And I'm going to be honest, that man wasn't even behind a keyboard. He was at the show. He was just behind a barrier and probably like 6 rows behind everybody else. Just wanted to get his 2-piece in. Like, that's fucking crazy to me. So, nah, man, he didn't owe nobody an apology. He still doesn't owe anybody an apology unless it's Renee and his daughter. And that's all I'll say about that.
All right, JJ. I figure you're probably on the same side as all of us.
Is there any more that needs to be said?
Nah.
That's it. Let's keep it moving.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna listen to the man. I'm gonna listen to the man right there. Keep it moving.
I just want to know if that fan was wearing a Jon Moxley t-shirt while he was at the show, though.
That would make it even funnier.
He probably did. And he'd probably be the same fan that if he saw him in public would be like, "Oh my God, can I have your autograph?" You know what I'm saying? So,
do you remember me? I was that fan that said that thing to you.
Oh yeah, and guess what?
Hey, on the real, leave it to some. And I'm just gonna assume like shit, okay? But leave it to somebody from DC to say some shit like that to somebody from fucking Maryland to say that shit.
That's why we don't have nice things.
That's why we don't get nice things. You wonder why they haven't come back to Baltimore? Assholes.
Well, they haven't come back to Baltimore because
Or,
they had a bunch of blood and everything.
They definitely violated.
Kenny and John on the
They,
blacklist.
they
Yeah,
really ruined that.
that's why they're not there. That's why they didn't come back to Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yet. Yet.
But keyword yet. But like no,
Yeah, all
like,
they gotta do is slide the commission enough money. They'll be back.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But no, it's crazy though. You mentioned that, Cliff. If you notice, every time there's something in like the DMV area as far as a wrestling show, always something stupid ends up happening on TV. If you notice, like more times than not, a lot of times when they're in Baltimore, why, especially WWE events, why is somebody jumping the guardrails?
Yeah.
Because people from here think they're funny, and they're really not.
Like
that's the problem. They all think they're funny, but they're
like,
really
just
not.
Just a side note, it's just I've noticed this over the couple of years. It's just every time when wrestling is in town, especially in Baltimore, somebody wants to act stupid and get their 15 fame.
All right. Here's my hot take. Next time somebody jumps the barricade or says something stupid at a DMV show, I employ the wrestler to just beat the shit out of that person.
I agree. I second that.
That shit won't happen again.
Clout is a dangerous drug.
Yeah.
Bet it won't happen again.
You got that right, man. You got that.
Clout is a dangerous drug, and from the words from a rapper, you do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Seriously.
That's facts. All right, here we go. Last but certainly not least on the agenda for today, this Saturday. This is weird to say. This Saturday for WWE Live special attraction show. Not calling it pay-per-views, but the Royal Rumble is this Saturday. All right, so
I forgot about that.
No, right? Now listen, it came up quick. The Rumble came up quick. January.
What? What?
So as we always do here, we have our fun game that we play. If I had the pencil, so this is the first chance to get a good score coming into season 3. All right, season 1's winner right here is the Red Dog himself. And I was noted that last week I did not let us know who was the winner for season 2, if I had the pencil. So with that being said, drum roll, please. JJ is season 2's winner of If I Had the Pencil. So congratulations.
Pause.
It's rigged.
I want to say one thing. For a guy that doesn't watch wrestling, he sure does know how to predict it. You guys watch wrestling 24/7, and I beat all of you. You guys suck.
I'm glad you said something because your brother rigged the score so that you can win, so you can feel better about yourself. Because we know how terrible you're doing in school right now.
It's true.
We ain't gonna let nobody else know. We ain't gonna let nobody else know. You're doing trash in school. You don't want to tell nobody, and this is the only way you're gonna get yourself any kind of over. I'm not letting you get over, kid. That's not how this is working. You know what? Go back, okay? Go back to your studying. Get your F, and then shut up.
I got 100% in all my classes right now. Thank you very much. I got A++, 100%.
The A+ is
the semester just started last week.
Exactly. That's the point, doofus.
Your A++ stands for asshole. That's what it stands for. It doesn't stand for anything else. Get out of here. You're craziness.
No, it stands for absolute dominance, baby. Get on my level. Get on my level.
So, anyway,
chitty banging. Woo!
The only thing your AD stands for is all dickhead. That's all it stands for.
All righty. If I had the pencil. So for those who don't know, if I had the pencil, we all know the pencil is the most powerful tool in wrestling because it can write down the winners and also it can erase the winners. So, but instead, we're not booking. We are trying to predict the outcomes of these matches. So whoever has the highest win percentage at the end of the year of how many they get correct as far as the overall show will be the winner of the Golden Pencil Award. So let's start off with the Royal Rumble. There we go. Royal Rumble. First match. We're going to start off with the Universal Championship. And that is Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins. If I had the pencil, I'm going to go off right now and say that my tribal chief, your tribal chief, the fans' tribal chief, everyone's tribal chief, the man that sits at the head of the table, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, is the winner of this match. So I got Reigns. Who you got, Cliff?
I'm gonna take Roman as well.
You got Roman. All right, JJ, who you got?
I got Seth. Psych.
Okay.
I'm going with my tribal chief, the one who's paying my bills.
I was about to say you
think it's a
you
game?
about,
I'm
about
not
to say
getting
you about to
kicked
coming
out
home
the
this
family.
week.
I'm not going to get kicked out the family. Shoot.
And me, please, since I'm golden. All right, sure, Mr. Golden. Drop your picks in when we go through them. All right, we'll see if you can win the Golden Pencil Award. You know what? We're gonna have a fans Golden Pencil Award this year. I'm doing it. Yep, I've added that. All right. So all of the fans, I've just added this as of 6:08 live on this recording. There will be a fan Golden Pencil Award. I'll have somebody keep score. I'm not keeping score of both this. So Cliff, that's your job to keep count of the fans.
I have enough shit on my plate, man. You need to make JJ that person.
All right, fine, JJ. That's your job. Boom. You got to keep score of all the fans when they put their picks in. All right, so Idol, who you got? Don't go against my tribal team, man. Don't do it. This your first show back after hiatus. Don't you do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman.
You going with Roman?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
No, it's a solid pick right here.
That is a solid pick. I agree with that pick.
I agree.
It's a solid pick.
You know what? I would agree.
He's got the killer instinct in his eyes. I see it.
I
can see him
would
taking down the tribal chief.
If there wasn't a Chase Evans, not showing favoritism or anything, but you know he Chase more solid and he's.
I mean, I don't know, man. It seems like Chase has gone soft ever since Eli got here.
You know what? That's the thing. You think that. That's because I only show the softness. But without a camera, that man, he tried to palm his head like a basketball.
Really?
Yes, he did. And he's just like, brother, and just hitting him like, you can't do that.
It's amazing. Okay.
Yeah. So that's because I make it. I know how to make it look. Okay.
Got you.
All right. Next match is a mixed tag team match. All right. We got the first ever teaming of Edge and Beth Phoenix. That's awesome. Versus the It couple, Miz and Maurice. If I had the pencil, I'm going with Edge and his wonderful Mrs. Edge and Beth Phoenix. Who you got, Cliff?
Yeah, give me the edges for one.
The Edges. The Copelands. Idol, who you got?
I'm going with Miz and Maurice.
Ooh, okay. All right, JJ, who you got?
Give me the Edgelords.
Right. Don't ever say it again.
That sounded better in my head. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of figured it did. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, the Raw.
The instant regret, though.
The Raw Women's Championship. All right, Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. I don't watch Raw, so I have no idea. So I'm gonna go with Becky. I guess they're booking Doudrop strong. I guess. I don't watch Raw, so I'm going with Becky. Who you got, Red Dog?
I'm gonna take big time Bex.
All right, Josh.
I'm going with the mom.
You going with? Is Doudrop a mom?
No.
Okay.
Not that we know of.
Not that. Yeah, not that I know. Not that I remember.
Yeah, not that we know of. I mean, she could be.
I mean, she could be, but let's be honest. We started calling her the mom when she got pregnant.
Yeah.
We did do that. We did do that. You're right. Who you got, Idol?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Becky. I'm gonna go with Becky. Yeah.
All righty. Moving on to the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. The match we have been waiting years to happen. That probably should be happening at Mania, but hey, we'll get what we can get. All right. Who you got, Red Dog?
I'm taking Bobby.
Yeah, okay, so all right. I'm not crazy then. I thought I was crazy for wanting to go with Bobby, just because I was like, it's iffy. Because they're saying that this is supposed to enhance the Roman and Brock storyline. So I'm like, all right, is he supposed to lose? So I'm going with Bobby as well. Who you got, Idol?
I'm going with Lesnar.
You're going with Lesnar.
Yeah.
What about you, JJ?
This is actually kind of tough. Knowing WWE, they're gonna go Brock.
Brock.
They're gonna go Brock. This is hard. That's tough.
All righty. Moving on to the
50-50
women's.
split.
It is 50 split. Which is interesting. All right. The women's Royal Rumble match. Who we got taking it? All right. For the women, who you got? Red Dog, who you got?
All right, now, Davis. I'm gonna watch you, man. Okay, because I've seen what you do in the corner, man, and I know your mom's been working that corner a little bit. So I think this time we're gonna have to go out here and we're gonna have to talk to Asuka. If she's in, I'll put it that way. If she's in, her. If not, Liv Morgan.
Okay. So funny thing is, I got Asuka as well. That's been my pick from jump. It's been Asuka. She's healed up from an injury. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Asuka makes the surprise return, wins it. 2-time Royal Rumble winner. All right, JJ, who you got? Oh my goodness. All right, Mr. Golden. All right, Mr. Golden. You know what? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He did that to make me mad.
Oh my God! Wow.
I almost got tears out my eyes just reading that.
He did that to make me mad.
Oh God. I can see Liv winning it.
Liv,
but I don't know. Like these people with how they book the women's division, this is so difficult. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm going Liv. Yeah.
All right, Liv. What about you, Idol?
This is really difficult. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one. I got 3. I can't narrow it down to one. That's hard.
All right, give me 2.
2?
Give me 2. I gave Cliff 2. Give me 2.
Okay. I can see Rhea winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see Rhea winning it and going on to face Becky at Mania. I could see that. Or I could see Charlotte winning it and picking like Bianca as her challenger.
Ew, I don't like that.
You don't like? Why don't you like that?
Because it's Charlotte winning.
But Charlotte and Bianca would be dope.
Oh yeah, I just don't like the way we're getting it though.
Oh well,
I don't have a problem with Charlotte and Bianca.
Okay. I'm thinking about it like this. I'm thinking about it like this. This will be the 3rd time a champion has entered the Rumble. And the first 2 times they lost. So at some point, a champion's got to enter and win, right?
True. That's true.
I feel like at some point it's got to happen.
That's true. That's a soundbite. That's going on.
Yeah.
That's going on social media. That's a soundbite right there, Cliff. Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point.
because Roman had to defend the title in the Rumble. He lost it.
Right.
Lesnar was in the Rumble as the champ, but he got tossed out.
Right.
Yeah. So this will be the third time a champion has entered the Rumble. So I feel like, all right, you gotta have the champion win it at some point. No, I don't know. Why not Charlotte? She wins everything else.
That's factual. All right. Here are the men's Royal Rumble. Who we got going in for the men? I got two. I have Big E and what you call it? What's his name? Sheamus.
I was like, you don't know his name. That just tells you all you need to know about him right there.
Yeah, I got Big E or Sheamus. One of those two. What about you, Cliff?
Way to be. You know what, man? I got to give you love because you just diversify. You know what I mean? You was like, can't go wrong. Black and white. Like, I'm going to win something.
Right.
This
I got
man.
Negro and Irish.
Yeah. Be like, yeah. Man, you know what? If you would have picked, like, I don't know, maybe some Latino to win as well, pick a 3, you could have done, like, some great chicken, some mashed potatoes, and fucking some, spinach or something. Yeah, because they worked the fields and picked shit out. I don't care what you guys say, okay? I was one of those guys who worked it as well. Anyway, moving on. All right, so this is my pick, right? I think I'm gonna go with it's tough because everybody is kind of like in the mix. I kind of like Kevin Owens for this year.
I was trying to decide between Big E and KO as my other one, and I just was like, I'm gonna go Big E just because he's black. That's literally why I thought I had 3. I had Big E, KO, and Sheamus, but I was like, I can't do 3. I just told him you got to do 2. But no, KO was a good pick.
I like KO. You know what? I'm gonna go with KO. Even better. I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn.
That's not a bad pick either.
I feel like a lot of faces have won it the last couple years, and to see a heel win it is kind of due.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right, JJ.
I'm stuck. I am in a conundrum.
He's in the mirror dimension.
Huh?
You said you're in the mirror dimension.
Can't do any harm in there.
I might be. Rob Gronkowski's going to say no. Okay, let me stop. Sami
Are they officially out? Because I can see that'd be a good pick.
Sami Zayn, maybe. Yeah, I'm going Sami Zayn or Big E. So yeah, Sami Zayn. I don't know. Big E. Yeah, I'm going Big E.
All right. Idol, who you got?
This is a tough one. That's a really tough one.
I know men was hard. Like it's hard to really think. Like there's so many. They go out of left field with they always go out of left field with the men too. It's like we think we know.
It's hard to say. Right. You think you know, and sometimes we get it right.
Right.
Sometimes
exactly.
we get it dead wrong.
So it's like sometimes it is obvious. It's more obvious
like the men,
than other years.
Yeah. The women I think the women have always, since they've started the women have been a little more obvious on who's winning the Rumble.
Yeah.
Like I think we knew Becky was gonna win it. We knew Bianca was winning it.
Yeah.
So like I think we kind of, but like the men, like they've always, sometimes they go way left field.
Right. Like what was it? The year Randy won? The last time he won it? Yeah. That was way left field.
Right out of my, I was just about to say the year Randy won. Like,
yeah.
So
it was
left
like,
field.
whoa, okay. Man. I want to say, I think I'm going to ride the wave. I'm going Big E, Kevin Owens. Well, because it's difficult because it's like no one is getting like there are a few people that are getting like solid pushes right now, but like there's no standout push that's going on where it's making us lead in one direction.
Facts.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. Big E KO. All right. That's if I had the pencil. All right. It's time for the greatest segment. And I mean that with all honesty. It is the greatest segment in all of 3 Count podcasts, okay? It is now time for the Red Dogs Power Rankings. Danger Zone.
I'm
Glad you chose college. Really glad you chose college.
Damn. Tough breaks for this man. So let's get into let's get to talking about the power rankings. You guys already heard my match of the week, right? If you guys haven't checked out Warriors of Wrestling, you definitely need to. So let's talk about number 10. I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay on Rampage. You know what's crazy is that both these women together had less than 80 matches, and I felt like that match was actually really well put together.
I agree.
So let's jump into number 9. We're gonna talk about Kevin Owens versus Damian Priest on Raw, because that was also a lot of fun. We're getting into number 8. We gotta talk about this match because this was a great match for someone who's been away from the limelight for a long time. You gotta get us up to Josh Alexander versus Charlie Haas on Impact. Like, I thought this was really fair. I really liked it. We're going to move into number 7. This is also coming out of Impact itself. We're going to talk about the ROH champion, Jonathan Gresham, going against Steve Macklin. I love this match as well. I thought this was a good match as well. So we're going to move into number 6. Again, man, this dude's going to be making this list a lot. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens versus the Usos on SmackDown. Just a fire match. Just great. I loved it. Talk about number 5. We had it announced earlier on this show. It was Trent versus Nick Jackson on Rampage. Just a lot of fun. Our number 4 match. We're going to talk about this. So this was one of my favorite matches going into this week. I'm really excited about it. But a late name change is what kind of drove a lot of people away. But we can't take anything away from Gunther versus Roderick Strong on NXT 2.0. Still a really, really good match. We move into number 3. We have our man. He came back, and a fan got the fuck out the ring at the arena. Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page on Rampage. So those are all of our big matches. So what would be number 1 and number 2? Well, we're going to talk about it, as it was Jordynne Grace versus Kiera Hogan at Terminus.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Yes.
This was a fire match. But if this is number 2, let's talk about our number 1 match, and that would be 2 people who are already on this list, as in Jonathan Gresham versus Josh Alexander at Terminus. This match was fire. I thought 2 guys putting it down for pure wrestling. This is where it was at.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Terminus, it set the groundwork for what the rest of the week of wrestling was going to look like, and it just held its own. So very much big congratulations out to Jonathan Gresham for a super successful show. Very hyped. Cannot wait to see the next one because, maybe another one of our fan favorites from a group used to be called Hit Row. I don't know what they're called now. Oh, Missing. But Shane Strickland is going to be on the show. I cannot wait to see what happens with him, a part of Terminus. So, check out get ready for the next show.
I did not say last week that Terminus, we will be talking about them a lot this year. Didn't I say that? I said that.
Yeah.
I said that. And
the thing is, though, is that a lot of their matches were all fire matches. And I felt like all their matches probably could have made this list. But I feel like I had to diversify.
Yeah, I the Baron Black and Baron Black. Who did he face?
Bandito.
Bandito. I loved it. I think that was my favorite of the night. All of them, all the matches were 5-star quality matches, but
Yeah.
that was one of my favorites. And I don't know why. I thought I was like, Cliff's gonna put that at 1, and I'm gonna like do a backflip because I was like, yes. But the Jonathan Gresham and Josh Alexander definitely number 1. Although, like I said, all those matches on that show could have been like their top 3. You'd have put all those matches as far as the top 10 to be.
We also didn't include another match on my top 10. I wish it would have found a place to put it. It probably would have been at number 10. But if you guys have not seen Will Ospreay versus Brian Cage, Warriors of Wrestling, go watch it. Because God bless, that match was so fire.
But nah, your power rankings were on point again. You got 2 week streak going. All right, let's see. We'll see if you can keep the streak alive next week. But for those of you who have made it this far to the end of this video, thank you. You have now received a PlayStation trophy or an Xbox achievement because, like, getting to the end of this show, as I always say, is a achievement. So thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for listening to us on your morning commute or whenever you're listening to this for our podcast listeners and for our live viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for talking with us. We love talking with y'all about wrestling. So thank you, and thank you. Let me get this outro out the way. So if you have not already done so, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms: Twitter, 3count_pod, Instagram, 3count pod, TikTok, 3count pod, Facebook, the 3count podcast. We're on Rumble. We're on everything. We're also on OnlyFans. We're on OnlyFans. What you call it? Subscribe to our OnlyFans. So,
and we just launched our Patreon page too.
We did just launch our Patreon page. I was getting to that as well. So make sure you send us your monies. Buy a shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod. That's the number 3. Don't you dare type in THREE. You don't see any of those social media handles that has THREE. So why would you spell it? I had somebody tell me, I can't find your guys' stuff. Did you type in THREE? Yeah, ain't that your podcast? No, we are not. So make sure you put the number 3. So with that being said, I'm your boy, your nephew, your cousin, your baby mom's favorite tag team wrestler, the Don Chaz Evans, here with the Red that way. Here with the Red Dog. I gotta get used to it. Here with the Red Dog and Red Dog Cliff Miller. Here with Christopher J. Idol. You already know who he is, man. He's the GOAT. And my little brother, JJ. Yeah, right there. So tune in next week for the next episode of the debate show, the 3count podcast. Be there or you just show up. Just be here, okay? We're having fun. We're talking trash. So be there.